I have put the most signed players during the FM24 early access period all into one team to see how they will perform over 3 seasons. And I have decided to put them all on Luton because originally Luton was supposed to finish 20th in the English Premier Division, but it seems like with our most signed players, Luton's gone all the way up to 18th in the preseason predictions. So let's see if the most signed players so far can keep Luton in the English Premier Division for all 3 seasons. And I've chosen to do this over the course of 3 seasons. One, so that we can see how these players do in the short term, so we can see how they might impact your all's teams in the short term in season 1, season 2, etc. But giving us 3 seasons will also allow us to see how they develop over that 3 season period. So we'll get also a look into their development rate, especially early on in your save. So with that, let's introduce the most signed players in FM24 so far. So first up, we have Ousmane Diomande, who's naturally a ball-playing center back, and he is a phenomenal ball-playing center back at just 19 years old. First of all, really great physical attributes at this age. Good pace, good stamina, great strength, good jumping reach, and awesome natural fitness, which means if you sign him early on, he's going to be your center back throughout the whole save. With that high natural fitness, he's definitely going to get better, and his attributes as he gets older aren't going to go down that much, or at least will go down at a very slow rate. So you could have him well into his 30s and he will still be a phenomenal player. But I really think that the most interesting part of Diamande is his technical attributes and that vision. In addition to having good defensive attributes, decent heading, but good marking and good tackling, he's got 14 first touch, 15 passing, and 16 vision. This really is a player who is going to be one of the best ball playing central defenders for FM24, throughout your save. So this is a phenomenal player. He starts off the game, of course, at Sporting CP. If you're a top class club, this is a player to sign. Next up, we have Jean-Claire Todibo. He starts off his career at OGC Nice, so he's definitely signable, especially, again, if you're one of the better teams starting off your save at FM24. And he's just a very solid central defender. Again, another player with excellent passing, decent vision, but I think what's really impressive about him, he's got excellent physicals, good pace, good strength, good jumping reach. He has everything you want in a center back. Good heading, good marking, good tackling. Positioning is maybe the one that you'd want to work on, but given that all of his other mentals are pretty good, he's a good player. Very well-rounded, and I think with that good passing and with that good vision, again, this is another player that you could comfortably play out of the back with as a ball-playing center back. After that, we have the 18-year-old Argentinian Valentin Barco. He starts off the save at Boca, and he is available early on for not too much. At 18 years old, he is already a very good, very well-rounded player. He can play at left back and left mid, and I think he's good at both, but I think as a wing back and moving him forward as a complete wing back, again, given how difficult it is to necessarily find wing backs, I think this is the perfect one. Excellent attacking attributes, good crossing, good dribbling, but also he's got decent tackling, decent positioning, and pretty good pace for this level, and he will continue to improve. He's just 18 years old. He's going to get a lot better. This is definitely one to sign if you're looking for a left back. Next up, we have Martin Baturina, and he starts off the save at Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. And again, this is another fantastic player. Just 20 years old, he will continue improving. Maybe a little light on the physicals. Maybe you'd want to train some of that pace to try to get him to be a little bit quicker. But as a central midfielder, he's got everything you want. He's excellent technically, good dribbling, good passing, good technique, decent vision. This is a really good player, really solid player, and he will continue to improve. Rooney Bargi was one of the most signed players in FM23, and he's continuing to make a name for himself, scoring a late winner against Manchester United in the Champions League. Again, he's only 17 years old and he's already phenomenal. He's going to be one for the save for years to come. He's going to get faster. He's going to get better physically. Already, he's brilliant technically. This is going to be one of the best players in the save. Again, he's only 17 years old. He starts at FC Copenhagen. He's only going to get better. I think he's one that you absolutely have to sign. Wilfred Nanto is an interesting one. He starts off the save at Leeds, so I think he might be a little bit more expensive, being in England, of course. But another really good player. I think the thing that makes him is those excellent physicals, great acceleration, agility, balance, and pace. That natural fitness means that over the course of the save, he's not going to lose those physicals too much. Good dribbling, decent holy trinity for this level. And again, he's only 19 years old, so he's just going to get better. Up next, we have Yasser Asprilla from Watford. He's actually one that I've signed in my personal Southampton save, and he is very well-rounded. I think that's the thing that kind of jumps out about him, is just how well-rounded he is to start off the save. At just 19 years old, he will continue to get better, and he has a lot of room that we can grow, as we can see from that potential ability. But pretty well-rounded physicals, if nothing super impressive. Same thing with the mental, same thing with the technicals. But all of these attributes are going to prove, and he's going to continue to get better. I think he's an excellent winger slash inverted winger. He'll continue to get better throughout the save, and he's available fairly cheap at the beginning of the save. And last but not least, arguably one of the best signings that you could have possibly made in FM23, we have Victor Osimhen. Starting off at Napoli, what a player. Finishing 18, off the ball 20, pace 19. I don't think we need to do much more for as far as introducing Victor Osimhen. He's one of the best players in the game. He's one of the best in the world. So the only player missing from this, unfortunately, is the Dane Patrick Dorgu. Unfortunately, I didn't load up a big enough database to have him in there, but that way we can do this simulation pretty quickly. So replacing him, we do have Mpanzu for Luton. So with that, let's go to the end of our 3-season simulation. Let's see how Luton did in 3 seasons, and let's see how each of our players did and how they developed over the course of those 3 seasons. We'll see you in 2026. And 2026 has arrived, and this is how Luton did in the past few seasons. And season 1, they finished 12th, a solid, essentially mid-table finish there. Moving into 2024-25, a very similar season, finishing 11th. And finally, we can see that improvement, finishing 8th and nearly making European competition. So clearly the players were getting better as the 3 seasons went on. That is very good to see. I was curious to see some of the award winners. So interestingly, the English Players Young Player of the Year back to back was Wilfred Nanto. Very interesting. And the top goal scorer award definitely went to Erling Haaland. Yeah, all 3 years. But in the 3rd year, Victor Osimhen finishing 2nd with 20 goals, a very good season. And in season 1, Victor Osimhen had 22 goals and finished 3rd. So definitely being in the Golden Boot race looks like for most of the season. So Victor Osimhen doing quite well, but that's not really a surprise. And one of the most interesting results in season 2, Luton actually made the Carabao Cup final, but lost to Bournemouth. That might be a little disappointing, but the fact that they even made the Carabao Cup final is quite impressive. All right, let's take a look at each player. Let's see how they've improved and how they did over the course of the save. So let's start off with Ousmane Diomande. So, oh wow, he's improved massively. He's 4.5 stars now. Excellent physicals. What a player. Wow. In just 3 seasons, he has already improved really well. He looks phenomenal. And he's only 22. He's going to continue improving. What a great player. Let's see how he did. And remember, Diomande was actually playing at right back too as an inverted fullback, so he was playing slightly out of position. But really good overall ratings. Above 7 all 3 years. He even chipped in with a few goals. Wow. I think especially at such a young age, he's done very well here. Next up, we have Jean-Claire Todibo, who another player who's improved and just looks like a really good player. His mental attributes have come in very nicely. He's an excellent player. Let's look at his career stats over the years. Really good first season, and I would say he was definitely solid. Maybe not phenomenal, but given that again that we kind of are on Luton, so it wasn't the easiest. But overall, he was available. He played in most games and solid overall ratings. Next up, we have Antonio Silva, another player who just looks absolutely brilliant. Another player who's just a fantastic ball playing central defender. Physicals came in quite nicely looking at him. pretty solid. He actually got better as the save went along. 6.99 overall rating again. He was pretty similar to how Todibo did, I think. Wow, Valentin Barco is one who has improved massively since the beginning of the save. Physicals coming in fantastic, mentals coming in fantastically well, technical attributes coming in fantastically well. As an inverted wingback or a wingback, this is a great, this is one that I think people need to sign. I mean, clearly you can see why he has been signed so much. He looks fantastic and very good overall ratings for such a young age, coming in with some assists, a few goals, good overall ratings. This is a really solid player. This is a good youngster. And he's only 21. He's going to continue getting better. Moving on to Baturina, I'm not sure that he actually improved all that much compared to the Union save. What was he at the beginning? 2021? I don't know if he actually improved that much. Maybe that's a little bit disappointing. He still looks like a really good player. He's had some good seasons though. To give him credit, I think he's played better than what his ability looks like in his attributes. 12 assists and 7 assists. He is excellent as far as being able to get assists are concerned. So overall, this is a really good player. But I just don't know if that's necessarily his attributes are solid, but I'm not sure they're brilliant. Interestingly, Rooney Bargy hasn't improved as much as I thought he would. And looking at it, he hasn't gotten injured. He's been really good. 11 goals, 8 goals, 4 goals, 12 assists, 6 assists. He's had some good overall ratings. I'm not sure maybe why he hasn't done so well as far as his attributes are concerned. That potential ability is still there though. It might just be in my save given his potential ability range maybe isn't as high as what it might be in your saves. It might be on the lower end of his potential ability range. But overall, he's still some really good output. So still an excellent player. We move on to Wilfred Nanto, who we did see was the two-time English Young Player of the Year, and he's come through quite nicely. His off the ball has improved well. That Holy Trinity looks good. And again, those excellent physical attributes have definitely shown really good overall ratings, decent numbers of goals and assists. Yeah, this is a very good player. Asprilla is an interesting one because he's not really fantastic or anything, but he's very solid at everything. He's definitely improved a little bit. I don't know if he's improved a whole lot in the last 3 years here, though. But again, solid overall ratings, solid player, solid goals and assists output. He's a decent player. I like him. Finally, of course, the best player in this experiment, we have Victor Osimhen, who still looks absolutely phenomenal. He's in his prime. He was getting more than 20 goals this season. If you need a goal scoring center forward, this is why everyone's signing him, and you need to go out and signing him. 54 caps, 59 goals for Nigeria. What an absolutely phenomenal player. Well, that was the most signed players in FM24 so far, all in one team. And overall, I think there's some really good options here. We can see why these are the most signed players, and they're definitely ones that you all should be signing because some of them are absolutely fantastic. If I had to pick one, I think I'm going with Valentin Barco and Ousmane Diomande. I think they're just fantastic. We've seen that they developed really well, and they will continue to develop in your saves. But with that, I hope you've enjoyed this FM24 experiment. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!